What's happening, everybody on YouTube? Steve here, Raiken Profit over at RaikenProfit.com, coming back to you from the parking lot of Savers Thrift Store. And I spent $10,000, about $10,000, maybe a little bit less, but around there, sourcing books to sell on Amazon using my favorite software. It's called eFlip, okay? There's a link down below in the description if you want to check out a free trial. But essentially what eFlip is, for the people who don't know exactly what it is, it's a software that my good friend Caleb Roth created. And what this software does is it searches Amazon for books from merchant sellers, because on Amazon there's merchant sellers and there's FBA sellers. So keep that in mind. These are two different types of sellers. It searches Amazon for books from merchant sellers that are undervalued that you could sell on Amazon FBA for a profit. So I use this software, and essentially I've made videos about this, but essentially what you do is you set a criteria. So you can look for books that are between a certain price range. So maybe books that are between $10 and $20 from merchant sellers that are under a certain rank. So maybe they're 50 to 150,000 rank, and sell for a certain amount of money with a certain profitability. So it's a great software. I highly recommend it. And I just want to share with you an update because I made a couple of videos about this a few months ago. I did some live demonstrations. I showed you exactly how it worked. And a big shout out to my mom, Mama Profit, who I helped to get started selling books about 5 years ago. This was her first time really hitting the pavement hard. I think she spent around, don't quote me, but somewhere between $2,000 and $4,000. I know it was over $2,000 on books. So essentially what we do is we use the software and it filters Amazon. We find a book. So for example, we might find a book that's $20. We buy it from the merchant seller. It comes to us. And then what we do is we send it in back into Amazon. And the strategy that we were utilizing is we were essentially playing the increase in price for textbook season that's starting in January. So one big tip I want to give you, if you're doing retail arbitrage or you're using eFlip, is you need to download what's called a Keepa Chrome extension. Okay, so when you load up, once you install this, once you load up an Amazon page of a product, there'll be a chart that comes up and it'll show you the price history over the year. So 2 times during the year, about 3 times during the year, because there's a small like summer season, the prices of books will be pretty solid. They'll go down because nobody wants them. And then boom, they'll spike up like crazy for about 1 to 4 weeks, because that's when the students are going on to Amazon to buy the books. They need them quick. They need them in good condition. They want to buy from Amazon FBA sellers because they're Prime members. They need it fast. They want to make sure they get free returns. They don't have to deal with any customer service issues. So you can buy books October, November, early December for $10, $15, $20, $30 and sell them for $70, $80, $90, $100. How do you know? You've got to download the Google Chrome extension Keepa, because you can see what has happened in previous years. So for example, you could take a look at an economics book and you can see that during the year in 2017, it was selling for 14, 15, maybe it spiked up to 28, 29. And then during January season or August, September, it spiked up to 60 or 70 bucks and then it came back down. So what you're utilizing is the eFlip software to buy these books undervalued and then sell them for a profit when supply and demand comes into play. Again, when textbook season comes, there is a huge demand for textbooks. And what happens? This is basic economics 101. When there is more supply and not much demand, the prices go down. But when there's very little supply and the demand is coming in because kids need textbooks, they're getting ready for school, they're changing classes, the prices increase. So a lot of times we were buying books that maybe FBA was selling for $32. We were buying them from merchants for $22. At that point, it's not very profitable. It doesn't make sense to buy it, but we were buying it anyways because we were looking at the graphs and charts. We were utilizing technical analysis to notice that during those school months, the price would jump up to 62, 82, 92. And when you're using the Keepa chart, you can actually filter it for new prices, for used, for FBA prices, merchant prices. So there's a lot that goes into it, but we're really excited about it. Again, I think my mom spent somewhere around like $3,000 on textbooks. I spent around $10,000. And I expect to probably make probably like 50 to 80% profit margins on those books. Some of those books are going to be like 300% margins. Others are going to be 25% margins. So if I could make 10 grand on that investment, that would be a really cool and profitable and lucrative ROI. I could have gone way harder. I could have probably spent $30,000 or $40,000. But there's a lot more work that goes into it than what it seems just sourcing, because when you source those books, that's the easy part. But then they start getting sent to your house and you have to unbox all the books. You've got to make sure they're in the condition that they stated. Then you've got to fill out your spreadsheet. I've got a whole spreadsheet that I fill out, and then you've got to track everything. Then you got to list everything and ship it out. And then there's refunds, and then books don't show up to your house. So it's not all, rainbows, and it's not all peachy. There's obviously challenges and different things that I had to go through, like books not coming in the same condition, sending the wrong books. And then it's time consuming as well to go through your spreadsheet and fill everything out. So I actually had a virtual assistant helping me out with various tasks and stuff, admin tasks. But yeah, I just want to share this update. I'll be sure to come back to you guys with an update probably at the end of January to let you know how I did with my textbook season utilizing eFlip. But I highly recommend checking out the free trial, RaikenProfit.com/eFlip. I love it. The founder behind the company, the customer service is terrific. They're always innovating. They're always improving. There's a couple other softwares out there. I've tried them. I think eFlip is bar none the best. I think the plans start at like 30 or 40 and go up to like 79. My plan's $79 a month. You don't have to utilize it the whole year, but you can, because you could still make money even outside of these, spikes in prices during textbook season. You can actually do this outside of textbook season as well. It's just not going to be as easy and it's not going to be as lucrative. But I sold quite a few books before tech season, books I was sourcing for $7 or $8 and flipping them for $30, $32, $33. So definitely try it. It's one of those things, you don't have to do it full time. I'm just doing it part time. I spent literally 4 or 5 hours a week just sourcing. And then obviously I stored everything in my closet. I stored hundreds of books, and then I shipped them all out within a couple of week period. The majority of the textbooks, just to keep and minimize the storage fees. Rose says you order them all at once and then prepare at your house for the tsunami of books that's about to hit. Exactly. But I tell you right now, next year, or actually the August-September textbook season, which is coming up, I'm actually going to be utilizing a prep center because it was way more work than I wanted to do. So I'm going to utilize a prep center. Can you rent those books out? Amazon has that program. I don't know if they have any programs where you could rent them out. I've never really looked into that. But yeah, a lot of students, they want to buy the book. They don't want to rent because they want to highlight it. They want to own it, so on and so forth. So I've already been selling books, but books aren't really going to be selling until the first week of January, maybe a week before. So I'll keep you posted. What's up, the Colorado kid? Lucid Dreamer, good to see you, girl. How's your day going? Brandy says the storage fees kill my profits. Why is that? The storage fees aren't really expensive unless you start hitting the long-term storage fees, which is what, over 6 months or so? I don't know if they changed the rules recently, but storage fees are if it's just a standard size item, it's a couple cents or 10 or 15 cents a month. Probably not even that much. So long-term storage fees get very expensive, extremely expensive. But if you're before that 6-month period, then storage fees are actually very cheap. Shipping to Amazon is very cheap. It's subsidized through UPS. For example, I'll ship out a box of books that has 49 pounds in it, and it's $8.50 to ship. I have a prep center, not a prep center, a warehouse, an Amazon warehouse fulfillment center that is in New Jersey. So I ship from Connecticut to New Jersey. I don't use placement fee. I used to use it all the time, and that's a service where you can place where you want the books to go, essentially, or have them go to one location. But if you're selling books and, you do a single box, it usually goes to the same place. Shipping fees are killing profits as well. The shipping fees are really low on Amazon. I'm not sure if you're talking about sending books into Amazon FBA or you're talking about eBay, but shipping fees are dirt cheap when you're utilizing Amazon and sending to the FBA centers. How do you get access to the warehouse to store your stuff? That's by utilizing the Amazon FBA program. So if you sell as an FBA seller, you're actually shipping them off to the warehouses. There's a bunch of free YouTube videos. Just look up, how to sell on Amazon FBA, or how to ship an Amazon FBA shipment. Essentially, you just go through their system and they choose the warehouse for you. You put in the weight, you label all of your products with what's called an FN SKU, and so on and so forth. Sin City's asking, do you polybag the books you ship? I don't. The only times I would polybag a book if it's something that's really like rare or collectible, or it's selling for like hundreds of dollars and I don't want it to get beat up. That's probably the only time I would utilize a polybag, but I don't use polybags. All I literally do is I scan them in. I use a software called AccelerList, which I highly recommend. Check out AccelerList. It's a software that allows you to speed up your listing process. You could utilize templates, breaks down all your profit margins. It's great. Really love AccelerList, been enjoying it. I got away from Inventory Lab and I'm really happy about that. But I use AccelerList. I list all my items in. It's pretty quick. Yeah, James says AccelerList is the shh. It is phenomenal. Great software. But yeah, I list it all in. I list my products. I choose the price, the condition. Then I put it all in a box. I label all my products with an FN SKU. I have a Dymo label printer. Then I label it all, weigh it out on my scale, box it up, and then print the label for the outside of the books through UPS. And yeah, bada bing, bada boom. The profits are coming soon. So Rose says, I agree, AccelerList is my favorite. It's great. So if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button down below. I know you guys are always looking for ways to make more money, and that's what this channel is all about. It's all about sharing ways that I'm making money that can help you to make money, and also sharing ways that some of my friends and other YouTubers and people out there are making money, because there's more than enough to go around. The key is to choose 1, 2, 3 income streams, get started with them, and start to get your little slice of the cake. You don't have to be the best. You don't have to be the greatest. You've just got to figure out 1 or 2 income streams, master it, get good at it, and take a slice from that pie, because that pie is big in today's economy. With the internet, there's so much money going around. You just got to take, what you deserve, okay? So appreciate you guys. Smash that like button, like, comment, subscribe. Free trial down below. And yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate it. Coinbit says, what is the best scanner? I just use the Amazon seller app for the most part, but there's other scanners out there. I'll probably come back to you guys with another video, because I got to get going with I got a haircut at 12:30. So I'll talk to you guys soon, but I appreciate you guys. Sorry if I wasn't able to answer all your questions, but I'll get back. Scout IQ is amazing as well. I use Scout IQ. All right, guys, appreciate it. Bye-bye.